Hello and welcome to Edukemy's YouTube channel. My name is Harsh Singh and in this video we shall discuss current affairs for today. That is 19th of April 2022. So let's begin. Today's quote is, patience is not the ability to wait, but the ability to keep a good attitude while waiting. While many of us want things in a hurry, patience is one of the strongest and most beautiful attributes that has been a human attribute. And though there is a delayed gratification here, patience gives us a lot of virtuous qualities. In fact, it is often said that patience is equivalent to being a humane individual. Patience teaches us a lot of lessons, and who better than all of us UPSC aspirants would understand this. If you like this initiative, share some love through likes, comments and shares. Let's begin. What we covered in today's session are quite a few interesting articles in news. First of all, GTMS, Global Traditional Medicine Systems, and this systems formulated by WHO in partnership with India will be inaugurated today in Jamnagar in Gujarat. We'll understand more about it. We'll also understand what is the reason that Amway has been now facing a challenge in India because of the multi-level marketing scheme, pyramidal scheme. The third one is state sponsor of terrorism, which now Ukraine proposes USA should declare Russia as. We'll understand that. Positive indigenization list, quite a few days back it was in news. ED, I remember one of you had asked this question. ED will cover this. New shrimp species from Lakshadweep and Singapore formula and bridging gender gap. Let's cover this all quickly. Now, the first one is global traditional medicine systems. India is one of the places which has been home to many medicinal varieties and medicinal systems. Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha, Homeopathy, and then we have Soa Rigpa and herbal medicine as well. Now, quite a few systems are brought from outside. Can you please tell me where has Campo come from and where has Soa Rigpa come from? We've discussed Soa Rigpa once. Now, all the system of medication are alternative systems and they are not streamlined. The education has not been proven as of yet. It is only being practiced in an informal way in many of the indigenous communities. So WHO wants to formalize the whole system in a formal setup and to formally recognize this. And it has partnered which country in this process? It has partnered with India. It is a big achievement for India. The only center that WHO will have outside WHO's premises for these alternate medicines is with India. So the idea is to create a global traditional medicinal systems, GTMC, right? So WHO defines the definition of meaning of traditional medicine as knowledge, skills and practices which are indigenous and different cultures have used it over time to maintain health, prevent and diagnose, treat physical and mental illness and ailments. So this is what WHO defines the traditional system of medication as, right? For example, acupuncture, Ayurveda, herbal mixture, we have many alternate systems, no? We got yoga, and there is something called as healing through Reiki, many systems which are not recognized formally, yet they have treated people, right? So quite a few systems. Ayurveda written in the Veda books, yoga being introduced by many rishis. Yoga actually means unification of body with the internal systems, human with extra human powers. Unani is one system of medication that we've started to borrow from Arabic, Perso-Arabic treatment systems, and these people also learnt it from the Greek system, which was proposed by people like Hippocrates. And then we have Siddha, South Indian. In South India, we practice Siddha. Homeopathy, German, and then also proposed by Hippocrates previously. Soa Rigpa is the system which is popular in the mountainous countries in and around India. So we have Bhutan, Ladakh region, Tibet, and Ladakh as well, of course. Campo, Japanese. Yes, Amlan, good. And herbal medicines from Africa. Now, interestingly, the system of medication which are indigenous, they will be researched here, but the system which are from outside, for example, Japanese system and the African system, they also will be researched in our country. So that's the better part about this research system. Not only that, let's understand a little more about this. So GCTM stands for Global Traditional Medicine Systems. So Global Traditional Medicine System, we've covered this as a term previously while the declaration happened in the month of November 2021. So they will implement WHO's strategy for traditional medicines, for the coming decade, right? So that strategy includes how to formalize this setup, what has been the intention of the government all around, and how it can be formalized, right? So let's understand a little about this. So one thing is evidence-based research. Right now we know that turmeric cures a lot of ailments, but evidence, formal proof, recognition, research papers, they are not present. So formal evidence needs to be there for all the research work. One simple example is that of ashwagandha. It was known commonly that ashwagandha is making people recover very well from COVID disease. And then many countries, UK had its pact with India to research on ashwagandha. So these kind of things keep happening, and many of MOUs are signed between India and many other countries to research these different entities. Simple example are the creation of aspirin itself. The tablet of aspirin has been created with the help of bark of willow tree. Similarly, contraceptive pills, they have come from the wild yams, the root of these yams. And similarly, cancer treatment for children has been done with the help of rosy periwinkle. So one of the objectives is not only to research and give proof, but also to be able to save biodiversity. The reason being 40% of medication that is happening right now is dependent on the nature as well. 40% of the formulations are created with the help of nature, right? Out of 80% of the global practice that happens, right? It happens with the help of traditional system of medication itself. Not just the modern, but traditional system as well, 80%. And out of 150 countries, more than 150 countries have some or the other system of traditional medication. So imagine if this is the magnitude in which people are practicing it, it must be recognized. There must be some fact behind this issue, right? So develop norms and standards and guidelines when population is using this kind of medication. MOUs have been signed earlier. Medicinal plants, bioactive molecules, herbal formulations, all of them will be researched. Where? In Jamnagar, in India. All right. So this is the reason the WHO director has come to India along with the Prime Minister. They will be signing this, right? Agreement to initiate. Now, what are the challenges? First of all, integration of the traditional system of medication into the modern medication. So recognition of doctors, health practitioners, people who are aware of this system yet do not have formal education, this awareness. So integration of this is very important. The second is conserve biodiversity. As I mentioned, 40% of this kind of medication that is being practiced generally between people, it is available in our nature. And one simple form is again alfalfa. If you've heard of the grass alfalfa, this alfalfa grass is eaten by many animals, horse being one. And through alfalfa grass is created some very, very important herbs which lead to equanimous human being. That means centered human being. And that is the reason, since horse also eats this, as I mentioned, equanimous, equus. And this is why horse is also called as equus. And the sports equestrian is also derived from this word itself, right? Balanced. And humans have also started to eat. How did they learn about it? They learned it with the practice of observation. So conserving biodiversity is another one. Then modernize the study. One simple example is, if we know that yoga and Ayurveda or homeopathy is letting the blood pressure drop, it is letting the blood pressure come to normal from high blood pressure, or it is impacting the mental being and making the person more calm, what is the proof? So therefore, we need to modernize the study. When yoga is done on people for research purposes, it must be documented with modern devices, with the equipments, with MRI scans proving this. So this is another requirement, right? And then dissemination of this information, common information must be disseminated to people, right? Right now it is happening only informally between people. So people pass on the information with the help of some forwarded videos on YouTube. This must be formalized. It must be recorded. It must be certified. The WHO must be promoting this form of medication, right? So this is important. And mapping innovations and linking these patents, these are important. And also consumer protection, safety and quality. This must be restored. So now in this article, we have understood quite a bit about global system of medication, global traditional system of medication, the challenges associated with them. What is the strategy for future? So research areas, develop guidelines, standard norms when people are using it, develop partnerships with various governments and practice, and then create a research center in the country. India has passed on $250 million for operationalizing this center, WHO's global traditional medicine systems. All right, so quite relevant and important. Use these examples. The reason that I keep placing these kind of things, giving you examples of alfalfa grass or these kind of examples, are that you will have the extra edge over others. All right, so a couple of more things about this. Presently, the building where this is being practiced, the present the global system of alternate system of medication will be practiced is at Institute of Teaching and Research in Ayurveda in Gujarat, and this place is the first university in the whole world to have practiced, to have formalized the Ayurveda around the whole world. First one, right? So it could become a question for prelim examination. And the second one is this gentleman. You would have seen him for the past 2 years. He is the director of WHO, Tedros, Mr. Tedros, and which country does he belong to? What is the reason that WHO is said to have favored China? He is from Ethiopia, right? And you must know then what are the kind of relationship Ethiopia shares with China. Good relations, of course. Okay, and one more update about Gujarat itself. Gift City. So Singaporean High Commissioner, he came to Gift City in Gujarat. Financial high-tech city, right? So he came here, and this is where the Singaporean trading exchange will also run from Gift City, right? So he came to inaugurate this. That's when he said that because of certain reasons, we are not very much pro towards doing business in Gift City. The reasons are the bylaws in India are strict. We cannot make profit and take it back to our own country, Singapore, right? And then this is also a ghost town. Ghost town means post working hours, people would not be here because these are only office buildings, residential complexes are few, and that's absolutely true. The city is only getting formed, right? So that's the issue here. So this is where you should note down what are the issues with greenfield projects which are of high quality nature. Right now, we don't have pubs, we don't have nightclubs, we don't have a lot of people residing in these places, so people of a different lifestyle wouldn't feel promoted when they come to India. So this is what they have mentioned even for a smart destination in the country. The second update is on pyramid scheme. Lately, just today in this news, that this company Amway has been found to be cheating public in a way. So ED has attached properties worth around 750 crore rupees of this organization Amway in India and Chennai and around Dindigul and around places, their vehicles, their factories, etc., whatever it is. And the reason is the kind of marketing that these people are there doing. In the name of multi-level marketing, MLM, multi-level marketing, they're practicing something called as a pyramid fraud. What is this fraud about? That's what I'll explain right now. So what happens in multi-level marketing is that if I'm the first person who has purchased the product, and if I like this, I'd promote it. I'd promote it by purchasing it again, and I'd also promote this product by word of mouth, by asking other people to purchase it. And now this is what Amway company does. It sells products of home care, for example, sunscreen, vitamins, something to apply on face, creams, soaps, etc. And it focuses its product through its marketing from word of mouth. It wouldn't have other people, the marketing agents, but the people who are consumer. And the first level of people who consume these products will be called as upline members. Upline members. Suppose I am the first member, I am an upline member, because I will promote this product to all of you. I would say, everybody please purchase this and see the impact, because it has definitely improved my performance. My hair fall has decreased and I have become fatter than before just because I have used this product, and this is impacting my health in a good way. So you would feel the chain and you would say, yes, I'd take it. Now, the problem here lies in the fact that instead of the company focusing on the product, on the value of the product that it provides to people, it focuses on profit making tendencies of the upline members, of the members who already have purchased the product. So people do not purchase the product for its benefits. People purchase the product so that they would be part of the integrated marketing network and they would receive more profits. And the prices also of Amway products are high. So both the things are very much related. If the prices are high, people get a share of the prices, and then this is like a pyramid fraud. Everybody gets a share in the pyramid and then the prices exceed, right? So Amway scheme right now has been, Amway is an American company. Right now the scheme has been scrutinized with the help of ED. Okay. So share of revenue as profit, this is one thing, and no focus on products, but marketing only, marketing and making members rich. So when we do not focus on products, what is this? Are we focusing consumers? No, we are not focusing on consumers. We are not focusing on the quality of product. So this is cheating the consumers in a way. All right, so 750 crore rupees attached. The third update is on state sponsor of terrorism. Mr. Zelensky has requested USA to call Russia as a country which is the state sponsor of terrorism. Now, what is the kind of impact it will do? This is possibly namesake, and because numerous sanctions have already been placed, and this is not a sanction which is at the global level. This is only inter-country sanction, and specifically by America. So America on one side and other countries on the other side. This is how America rates countries. All right. So keeping on watch list 301, if you remember, trade watch list, India has been kept on trade watch list, right? United Nations trade bodies. Then countries have been designated as promoting terrorism, state sponsor of terrorism. So these are ways and means through which a powerful country tries to label other countries. That's what right now Zelensky has requested, not saying that Russia has not conducted excesses, but only America doing this. Why should we recognize a thing like this? But then since they have requested, so America is considering it right now. American president is considering. This is where I want to remind you all of the kind of trade relations that USA and Russia have had. Right now, minimal trade. Even before 2022 attack, trade level was going down only. See, so after the year 2013-14, the trade has only decreased. American imports from Russia, this is the import graph. The imports have only declined. This is only up to 2016. The total trade between both the countries was around $10 billion just before the attacks happened. So the trade is not very much. Whereas if you look, America and China trade $800 billion, and they are only lingering around $20-30 billion. That's it. So this is not going to impact very much, right? But then since there has been a request, this will be symbolic in nature. Whenever you say namesake, use the word symbolic. This symbolic significance. All right. So currently, all right. So this is the request placed by Ukraine to Russia, to America, and presently America has got 4 other countries in this list, state sponsors of terrorism. Which are the countries? So we have Syria, Iran, North Korea, and Cuba. All these countries have been placed right now. America keeps placing them in the list and removing them as and when they think that this is supporting their policies or not. Right. So earlier they had Sudan, Iraq, Libya, Yemen also, and the 3 levels of sanctions. These are the extreme levels of sanctions when they declare a country a state sponsor of terrorism. So sanctions are on aid, providing aid to that country, providing trade relations with that country, and exchange of arms or any dual use goods as well. So this is the thing. Now there have been requests, sharing just a piece of information again. There have been requests of removal of Russia from the United Nations Security Council and United Nations altogether. It has been removed from United Nations Human Rights Council. Resolution was passed. But then removing a country from Security Council, this has never happened, and this has never been a part of the United Nations Charter. What to do? See, removal of a country from United Nations General Assembly is possible when the Security Council recommends it. But will Security Council recommend it? Once Russia is a member of Security Council, and that to a veto enabling member, a permanent member of Security Council, how will that body recommend that the country, Russia, should be removed from General Assembly? And when And when the country has been removed from General Assembly, then they can further look at removal of Russia from Security Council. So this has never happened. This is like a fallacy right now, not possible, right? So anyhow, these declarations happening, and Russia has increased its XSS attacks at various places in the east of Ukraine. Okay, but also suffered a lot of problems. Positive indigenization list. This is the next term. It was there in the news last week. This is in news because India has released its third positive indigenization list. What is this list about? This is a list released by Defense Ministry where it says these devices, these instruments, these weapons, these components, these systems will not be purchased from outside. India will be manufacturing them in home itself. So this is like an Atmanirbhar scheme and list of products which India will not be importing. So just like a list which is indicative of the fact that we will only be purchasing it from our own companies, Indian companies. Utility helicopters, light tanks, unmanned air vehicles, UAVs, anti-ship missiles, sensors, weapons, ammunition, rocket, patrol vehicle, anti-ship missiles, anti-radiation missiles. Overall, 101 items have been placed in the list, in the third indigenization list. So if you see the Indian manufacturers, unke balle balle, right? So India has already placed 55,000 crore of purchases from Indian companies after this list was released. And in the next 4 or 5 years, the plan is to purchase worth 4.5 lakh crore. Imagine this. So this is the power of indigenization list. Atmanirbhar Bharat, and what companies will do from abroad. Now they will involve themselves in technology transfer agreements. Thousands of technology transfer agreements have happened between DRDO and companies abroad or inside India itself, with the help of which now the companies are manufacturing in India. This is a good thing. This is a good thing because we are using our capital forces. We are getting the jobs here in India, and we are also understanding the technology. Right? What is required are two-step things. One is more research and development and more capital investment or capital procurement. Government has also increased both of them. In this budget, research and development expenditure has been given a special mention, and capital outlay in defense procurement also has been increased this time. Right? So this is a great thing for India's defense industry. Okay, you can put this as a part of governance schemes. You can also use this as a part of Indian economy, defense, foreign relations, independence. All right, independence of the nation. So many part of GS paper 2 and 3 will get covered. In fact, these kind of schemes also run when we talk of government e-market place. So when government wants to procure items, government says we will also procure items indigenously and from those organizations which are small, micro and medium in nature. Right? Is this partial? It may be, fine. So what? Let's see who will impact us. Right? Let WTO speak about it now. We will also speak then now. All right. Enforcement Directorate. First of all, which ministry is it a part of? Please put down in the comment section, and also do let me know which ministry is CBI a part of. Right? So ED in news because of all the time, kabhi kisi politician ke against, sometimes against a politician, conducting raids, seizures and raids, and sometimes against companies like Amway. So many reasons why they are in news. ED was created in the 1950s or 1960s, either of them, and the prime agenda of this creation of ED under Ministry of Finance was that they should prevent the parking of the money outside the country. Now, in case somebody has been involved in corruption, and the corruption amount was say above 1 crore rupees, so a case is registered against them in a local police station, right? So FIR has been lodged. Now, since the value of this case is more than the proceeds of the crime are more than 1 crore rupee, ED is eligible to take up a case like this. In a special case where this money has been parked possibly outside India, or it has been reused after the years and years again. These are the special cases in which ED specially takes up the case. So the two things that I want to mention is, in case the money has been used immediately, say 50 lakh rupees or less than 1 crore rupees, so this money has been used, and then normal criminal investigation will happen. right? But in case the money has been safeguarded, it has been kept safely at some place, and money has been laundered is the word, and it has been layered and then brought back to economy after quite a few years, possibly rerouting the money from abroad. This is where ED will start investigation. It will also have extra powers, extra territorial powers, where it will have it could write letters to the foreign governments to give them information. So this is how ED is a little more powerful than other research organizations. They've got overarching powers. They can seize the property, they can conduct investigations, and that is why they are always in news, because sometimes it is alleged they are used against the opponent political parties as well. Okay. So if you people mention that CBI is under Ministry of Home, then I would say you should check again, because it is not so. All right. Ministry of Personnel, very important. Ministry of Personnel. Okay, that's it. So ED largely looks at cases originating from Prevention of Money Laundering Act and Foreign Exchange Management Act. Okay, we'll get to the questions after just a short while, so keep posting them down. I will look at them. Now, this is a new species of organism which has been discovered in Lakshadweep Island, especially Agati Islands. This is where Actineminus koyas have been discovered, a new variety of shrimp just 1 or 2 meters below the ground. It has been found in research that these varieties of shrimp, they also interact with other varieties of shrimp, very closely related. Even the image looks very close to the other kind of shrimps, and the reason that they have been named koyas is because of the koyas community, the tribes there who are contributing to economy and ecology in Lakshadweep Island, Agati Islands. Do you remember the place? All right. So all these organisms have a good ecosystem network there. Singapore formula is in news because this is the time in which Indian cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, all these cities are going through enormous level of traffic and pollution. Is it not true? And because of this, there's a speculation of looking towards Singaporean formula of traffic management. So this traffic management has quite a few strategies for road rationing of vehicles on the road. They use multiple strategies, mixed strategies. For example, one of the strategies is registration plates. So here there will be licensing of registration plates. People will be given the registration plates on the basis of lottery system or on the basis of the amount of money that they can pay for one registration of the vehicle. So it was 100,000 rupees, $100,000, $1 lakh for owning a vehicle in Singapore lately. The vehicle cost could be hardly $30,000. Right? The prices of vehicles in the advanced countries, as per their economy, is relatively lower than what it is in India. So a vehicle like say Honda Civic would cost 30,000 rupees. But the amount of registration that we are paying for a vehicle like this will be 3 times the actual vehicle cost itself. And when this happens, then the payment will be quite extra, more than required. And in a situation like this, people will be vary from paying for a vehicle. They will use public commutation. So this is one system called as licensing. All right. The second one is dynamic pricing. Using satellite imagery, the road traffic at any place will be understood, and only after the road traffic is understood, people will be paying extra for going as a part of a particular route. For example, if I am on say Shah Jahan Road. Why Shah Jahan? Because this is the road where UPSC headquarters is located, right? This is where you would come for interviews. And the satellite system understands that there's a lot of traffic in the road, and every vehicle has that chip now, right? You people know about RFID technology. So when there is a lot of traffic and you still want to go into that road, it's fine, you can go, but then extra money will be deducted. This is what is called as dynamic pricing, right? So right to car ownership and then dynamic pricing, a capital technology and a licensing technology, both of them will be used so that road rationing is done in India as well. Now this is a technology which many countries are following, right? So not only odd even strategies, but using strategies like this could be useful. And Singapore is one of the countries where affording a vehicle is very, very expensive. So is affording a vehicle in a place like New York. The parking cost, movement costs are very high in the downtown region. Shanghai, Beijing, all these places. This is the case study for today. Swa Talim. Swa Talim is a system of education. Swa means self and Talim is education, self-education, where in Haryana, the girl students from marginalized communities, they are being aided in their education. So girls are being picked up from the marginalized communities who are vulnerable to getting married, to leaving out from school education, and a couple of students from Ashoka University, they have started this Swatalim. So they are helping these students with the help of interactive voice response system and engaging them in studies, right? A lot of families have acclaimed this Swatalim in Haryana. This is enabling the marginalized girl community not to get further marginalized and get back in the mainstream education, right? So great scheme. And this is how you could be using any case study. Just write down the name and after that 3 important pointers about it. So education and engagement in Haryana, marginalized communities, using interactive voice response system, and the wave of change it has produced. That's it. So this is the case of the day. And this is where we come to the conclusion of the current affairs discussion. We will move on to the feature news, which is on the demographic dividend. And before that, if you like this initiative, shower some love through likes, comments and shares. I'll quickly look at the comments right now. Okay. Hello Hima. Ashish, good evening. Good evening to all the other people. Kriti, Bhabani, Amlan, Kim, good evening to all of you. Other people joining late, welcome to all of you. Okay. Campo, Japanese, absolutely correct. Suarikpa, Ashish, good one. MHA, you people remember, looks like prawn. Okay. Oh, I think there was a question. There was a question I think Amlan had posted, deleted right now. Never mind. Never mind. Thanks for participating. And possibly you'd want to look at the difference between prawn and shrimp. What do you say, Babani? Thank you for participating. Let's meet in the current affairs video. Thank you.